Hey guys, welcome to the Clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be on Bumblebee. Finally, a good Transformers movie. Been waiting for this forever. The Michael Bay Transformer movies are pure garbage. The first one is okay. I mean, when it first came out, of course, I was excited. I was just happy that I got Transformers on the big screen. You know, I got to see my hero, Optimus Prime, finally, realized. And the first one, it was fun. And it was fine. I didn't like the parents and all that goofy stuff. But it's an okay movie. But the movies just went on a downhill trajectory after that. Then, after that last disaster of a movie, The Last Night came out, even audiences were like, we're done with this stuff. This is just stupid. So, here comes Bumblebee. And people were first thinking, this is going to be, a prequel to the Michael Bay films. And really, I thought it was going to be that same thing. But after watching it, this is a whole new rebooted universe for the Transformers. Thank goodness. My Optimus Prime finally on screen for the first time. The one that I grew up with, the Generation 1. And it has more than just Optimus Prime. I mean, the first 10 minutes opening scene, you're on Cybertron and you get the Autobots fighting the Decepticons. And it's the ones that we grew up with, the ones that are in my age group, that we grew up with in the 80s. And it was so fun to see that live action, and even if it was just for the first 10-15 minutes, and then of course in the course of the movie they flash back to it and you get to see some of the best scenes I've seen with Transformers. And I mean, even the 15 minutes that we get the Generation 1 Transformers in this movie, those 15 minutes top all 10 hours of Michael Bay Transformer stuff. I mean, that stuff is just garbage. You can't even understand what's going on in the screen. These Transformers, you could tell them apart. The colors weren't muted or anything. They weren't just small little pieces, transforming. You just don't know what's going on because it's all in your face like this. You see segmented parts transforming, and it's smooth. It felt natural. And I love that about this film. I mean, it had everything going for it for Transformers lore, at least for me as a fan. But I did have some problems with it. John Cena did not belong in this movie. He had one good line. The rest of his lines were pure. They weren't good. I mean, I don't know why somebody would write these lines for him and tell him, the director, to tell him to act these lines out like this. It's funny. It's not. I mean, only maybe about 5 or 6 jokes work in the entire movie out of about like 20 or 30. They try too hard with the humor, and that was one thing I was just like, these movies keep on trying to do this humor thing. Stop it. Please stop doing humor unnecessarily. Some of the jokes landed really well. There's a point, and in this movie, the Decepticons, they come to Earth and they kind of trick the humans into thinking that Bumblebee's the bad guy, so they start working with the Decepticons. But there's a point where they're all sitting in a meeting room, and John Cena, and they're like, should we be trusting these things? And John Cena's like, excuse me, but they're called Decepticons. Does that not raise any red flags for anyone? And it made total sense, and that was funny. I laughed out loud at that moment because it made sense to me. Nothing else this man said in the entire script was funny or even necessary in this movie. They should have made it more serious toned, in my opinion. But they did what they did. I didn't even care because Transformers movie's not even supposed to be about the humans. So I just ignored everything about the humans in this movie because nothing, except for Haley Steinfeld's character, Charlie, her and Bumblebee, it was the classic, boy and his dog kind of relationship. This reminded me a lot of like E.T. and Iron Giant. How to Train Your Dragon. You know, it's those kind of movies. That's what this movie is like. And it's not just, you know, throw it in your face, everything, but they really tried to incorporate this family dynamic with Charlie's character and her family. You know, her dad passes away, and, you know, she's hasn't moved on from it, but the rest of the family kind of has. The mom got a new dad, you know, and they're kind of all having fun together, and she's kind of like by herself, you know, and that was okay, but the acting of the family was terrible in my opinion. A lot of acting in this movie was terrible, except for the Transformer stuff. I loved every single scene with Transformers in this movie. Was beautiful, well written, well done. But all the human stuff, except for some of the Haley Steinfeld stuff, was good. I mean, her and Bumblebee, the stuff between her and Bumblebee was awesome and great in the entire film. But everything with her and her family, ridiculous. John Cena, ridiculous. The whole army guys, the scientists, stupid. Not one great piece of acting in this movie, in my opinion. But I didn't go this for actors. I didn't go to this movie for actors because I'm a Transformer fan. Optimus Prime is one of my favorite heroes in you know, of all media, and I was just happy to see the real Optimus Prime that I grew up with. So I really went to a movie called Bumblebee just to see Optimus Prime, and only get to see him for like 10-15 minutes, but that's all I needed. It was worth $40. I'll throw it at bam. Give me this movie, and they gave it to me. Perfect. Well done. Now I'm going to give it a high rating because of just my personal fandom of the genre. So to me, this movie nailed it. The best Transformers movie we've ever had since the 1986 animated, which is my favorite animated film of all time. This was close to that. So I'm giving this movie, for me, a 9. Even though I hated all the acting and stuff, but guys, don't pay attention to that stuff. Pay attention what they're trying to give you, a good Transformers movie. For me, this movie was a 9. For my buddy that went with me, it was a 7. He hated the whole, and you know, there's these mean girls, you know, that are treating Haley Steinfeld, and it's like a cliche kind of thing, you know, but all of that is terrible. Just take all of the acting, all the human characters, and just take them out of your mind and go to this movie wanting to see a Transformers movie because it's the best one we've ever had. So, what'd you think about Transformers, about Bumblebee? Have you guys seen it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember, the only thing stopping you is you stopping.